Hello and welcome to Yin. Yin Yoga and meditation, a place for you to come to stretch your body, relax your mind, and release any tensions and burdens, even if only for a little bit. Starting today in a seated position. I'm going to turn my camera off as I normally do so that you can focus on something else other than me. Once you get into your seated position, allow yourself to be on something. If you want to sit on something or directly onto the floor. If you feel like you need to sit up against a wall, feel free to do so. If you want to extend the legs or bend them, all your choice. Start with several rounds of breath in and out, intentional breath. Feeling the body release and relax as you settle into a comfortable position. Straighten your spine while allowing the rest of your body to soften, letting the muscles relax. Just let your shoulders drop. Release any activation of the muscles in your abdomen. And send an invitation to your whole body to be free and to feel free to relax. Take out any last minute wiggles here. Do you need to adjust your hips? Roll those shoulders. Start to notice where you can feel the breath in the body. Maybe it's in your nose, your chest, or your stomach. And for right now, just pick one place where you can feel the breath most easily. Just rest with the sensations of the breath in this one particular area. And start to count your breaths. Inhaling and exhaling with awareness and counting 1. And on the next inhale and exhale, count 2. And so on, all the way up to 8. And starting back at 1. Just allowing your breath to stay in this place, whether it's your nose, your chest, or your belly. While you inhale and exhale easily, without tension, without stress. Remember that counting serves as an aid to practice, giving the mind something else on which to focus. It's not a competition or measurement of how well you're doing or paying attention. each and every breath. When the mind wanders, just come back to the breath. Begin back at one as many times as necessary. Watch out for judgment and let go of any harsh self-talk. Continue like this, counting the breaths and building focus. When your mind wanders, notice it. When the mind is concentrated, notice that as well. Inhaling and exhaling in this present moment. Being light like a feather, gently blowing in the wind. Being a part of each and every breath. Feeling light, feeling free. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Eventually opening the eyes, being right here. Oops, my camera is totally sideways. Let me move it. There we go. Didn't even notice that. Okay. We'll just come into a seated position, wherever you want to be, how you want to be in that position. Lifting the heart, straightening the spine. Let the shoulders come down just like in your meditation. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, gently twist to the right. Bring your right hand behind you onto the floor. Bring your left hand onto your right thigh. And just twist, twist, twist. And keep your left hand right where it is, but start to turn your chest to face forward. Lift your right arm up and take it over to the left. So you've got almost like a push and pull feeling going on because your left hand's on your right thigh, pulling you that way, and your right arm is taking you in the other direction. Just breathing in and out. Then inhale, slowly come back. Good. Breath in. And And exhale, twist to the left, placing your left hand on the floor behind you or on the pillow, wherever you're sitting. Wherever you're sitting. Right hand on your left knee. Then keep your right hand right where it is, turn forward, lift that left arm up, take it over to the right. And slowly lift it up and down. Bring both hands onto your lap. Then take them forward, interlace your fingers and flip your hands over. Stretch out the underside of your wrists. Feel a little stretch in your palms. Then bring those hands back, interlace the fingers behind you, take them down as far as they can go, roll the shoulders back rather than letting them go forward. Turn the heads of your shoulders, the top, the front, and take your chin down towards your chest. Behind you. On the inhale, slowly lift your chin all the way up. Feeling a stretch around the throat. Maybe feeling the skin stretch across your chest, around your chin. And slowly bring the head forward. Release the hands. Breathe in. On the exhale, look to your left. Release the right shoulder. Inhale, slowly look forward. And exhale, look to the right. Releasing and relaxing the left shoulder. Slowly look forward. Go ahead and take some circles with your head to the left, with your head to the right. You'll get into your first pose. A supported supine twist. Stay. Bring your bolster or 2 pillows. Look here. If you're going to be roaming around, I'm going to kick you out. Hey, watch out. This is my yoga mat, not yours. With your bolster or 2 pillows along the right side of your leg, you're going to come down onto your spine. Oh, bring a block with you. Place your left shin from knee to ankle on this bolster. Wedge this block in behind your right cheek and then let your left hip fall back. Take your right shoulder as far right to the as you can, so you can try and get both shoulders on the mat, arms out wide. If that left shoulder is off of the mat and it's causing any type of irritation in your neck or your upper back, see if you can wedge a blanket or a towel underneath that left shoulder just so there's something soft underneath there. Just taking a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Allowing this breath to serve as the gauge for your relaxation. Letting your breath be the guide for what happens naturally, what comes up naturally. With the only intention being to relax soften. Just breathe. You can find much information on the internet about trying to let go, about learning how to create a mindset that can teach you how to not necessarily care less about what happens, but try to control less. Stepping into allowing yourself to not be focused on all of the details. And sometimes it's the simpler things that we need to be reminded of. To take us out of the busyness of each day, the rushing of one thing to the next, the emails, text messages, phone calls. You have about one more minute here. Sometimes we need to be reminded, sometimes even guided into getting out of our own way in order to experience our true happiness, our true place in life. Take 2 more breaths. After those 2 breaths, remove any props. Roll onto your spine. When you're ready, move those props to other sides. Excellent. Bringing your right shin bone from knee to ankle. Shimmy that left shoulder now over so you can try and get the right shoulder down. Maybe a block behind the low back. Take a full breath in. Have an equally as full, relaxing, supportive breath out. I wonder sometimes with our ego minds, when we will eventually get to the point of realizing that trying to control things only brings us great stress, great heartache, disappointment. But if we've experienced some sort of trauma in our life, there's a great need for controlling things. When we've experienced traumas, many of us tend to develop this mindset that these things happened to us and we didn't do anything to control it, to stop it, to prevent it. And we don't want to feel that type of pain, that type of uncontrolled chaos again. So there becomes a need in us to control, predict, and a greater need of planning with less fluidity to different things that may come up in our plans. There's a little poem I'm going to read to you, written by Yogi Amrit Desai, called Wouldn't It Be Funny? I should say named Wouldn't It Be Funny? Entitled, Wouldn't it be funny if trees were sad in the fall because the leaves were gone? Wouldn't it be funny if lakes were sad in the winter because they were covered with ice? Wouldn't it be funny if flowers were sad in the spring because they had to close up at night? Wouldn't it be funny if rain was sad in the summer because rainbows had to end? Nothing works that way in nature. What is, simply is, without question. No judgment, just acceptance. The hillside is peaceful, whether covered with flowers or snow. My secret, J. Krishnamurti said, I don't mind what happens. You have less than 1 minute here. can slowly come out of it whenever you're ready. Into a supported child's pose now. I'm going to offer you another variation for this pose if you're unable to be face down with the knees on the floor. I've got my knees out wide. I'm going to bring my bolster, but you can use 2 or 3 pillows. You ideally want to be somewhat level, maybe only having the bum up a little bit, not to where you're nose diving. You're going to stop your props right at your thighs and then bring your chest down. If you'll notice, my spine is level with my bum, between my shoulders and my bum, I should say. You can look left or right. Again, if you feel like you're nose diving and your bottom is way up in the air, bring some more props on to help level you out. The other way, if being taking a prone, which means face down, child's pose, if that does not work for you, you can grab your blocks, come onto your spine. You're going to wedge those blocks sort of sideways on the sides of your thighs, and just let your legs hang out. So you're still getting that intentional stretch of the inner thighs without the pressure on the knees. If you find that doesn't work too much or your legs are having a hard time staying up, you can always bring your feet onto the wall and take this pose at the wall. But that's also another pose because there's a lot more tension here and you can take the knees a lot wider. So just be mindful. You might want to still use those blocks even if your feet are on the wall. Enjoy a slow breath in and a slow breath out. When I first read this poem, I was gifted this book, actually, and I don't remember by whom. I may have bought it, actually. It's poems and prayers, either written by or yogis or about yoga. But when I pick something to read or talk about in this class, I've mentioned this before, I go with whatever calls to me. I think about the class, and I will reach for a book here on my desk. I will get one from my library, and I will open it. And sure enough, it's pretty rare that I've got to turn the page a couple of pages, if I open it and think, I don't know, that doesn't really speak to me. But this poem really spoke to me, and so many of these things, almost all of these things, are the trees sad because the leaves are gone in the fall? Are the lakes sad in the winter because the ground is covered with ice? And I was thinking about, life in general. And I was thinking about how I love the transformation, representation of butterflies. And what I've always remembered is that I guess we don't know whether the butterfly is affected because it's no longer a caterpillar, but it still transforms into its highest self, its highest form. And when I came across this poem, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, And I thought about all of these things, and I thought, these again are all things that we're unable to control, and we accept them for the most part, and we're able to go on. And I wondered, how come our human minds, not our brain, our minds, are not able to do that with everything in life? Because it does bring us sadness or anger when we're unable to control. When our plans don't come to fruition and we have a challenge with learning from what did or didn't happen instead. When I meditate, there is a Hindu deity that I have on my meditation altar, Ganesha. And Ganesha is about removing the obstacles from our life. I got it maybe about 10 or 15 years ago. We have one more minute here. And actually a little less than 1 minute. And when I got it, I thought, oh, this is perfect. You know, this is going to work like as a shield to keep bad things away from me. And I just had it on my desk. And when I created this meditation altar about a year ago, my Ganesha broke. And a couple months ago, I got a new one, a beautiful one. It's made out of brass. And I don't know why, but I started looking at it, and when I would meditate and say prayer, I would say, you know, I pray that any obstacles are removed from my path. But then I started to add, because I'm starting to get more in touch with this understanding of acceptance, the things that we can't control. Take 2 more breaths here. And I started saying, you know, I pray for, you know, obstacles to be removed from my path, but yet I also pray at the same time to be able to learn and grow wiser from the things that are not removed from my path. And it's made some difference for me. After you take those 2 breaths, you can slowly come up. We're going a little bit slower in our yin tonight, and we're holding our poses a little bit longer. I know there's different people who watch my videos. I'm not sure where you're located. I used to have people in England watch my videos. But here in California, it's raining, and the weather's cold, and it's windy. And so those things can tend to dry up the body, the bones, the joints, the muscles, cause us to feel kind of tight and stuck. So I thought, you know what, we're going to hold our poses a little bit longer. We're going to focus a little bit more on breath work and just be soft tonight. So the next pose you're going to take, we're going to work on the spine again, is caterpillar. One option is to take this pose right where you're at. Another option is to turn and place your feet up against a firm surface. The intention behind that is because without the surface, when we come forward, the feet and everything kind of shift forward. And when your feet come up onto a hard surface, you're getting some resistance. And so for some people, they may feel that stretch a little bit more, and it may feel better. They may be getting the feeling that they want from this stretch. You can use blocks under your forearms and fold forward. You can have some space in between your legs. You don't have to keep your legs right next to each other. You want to make sure you're on your sits bones. Sometimes it's nice to bring your pillows or your bolster, if you've got one, I bring it just like in child's pose, right between my thighs, right where it stops, and then I'll rest on top of it. I'll give you about 20 more seconds to get into your caterpillar, whether it's on the floor, in the middle of the room, or up against a surface. There can be much going on here in this pose, so we're just going to breathe through it. Allow the back of the neck, the place that covers your cervical spine. You've got 7 vertebrae there in this very top part of your spine that starts just underneath the base of your head, or I should say underneath it and just right there. But allow this relaxing feeling to travel down your whole spine, and then to start to spread as if there was gentle water from a shower streaming onto your back. And that water is warm, not hot, but warm. It feels good. And as it spreads and rolls down your spine, your arms, your shoulders, your back, down to your hips, all of this area, as you're folding forward, becomes soft. You tune into the muscles that you might be activating, that you might be squeezing, that you didn't realize. There's so many muscles, especially in our low back, and the trap muscles, the muscles that rest between the base of your neck and your shoulders. We do a lot of squeezing there and we don't even realize it half the time. So like a wave in the ocean, allow this imaginary shower of warm water onto your back to sort of magnetize, sort of pull to the surface any tightness, stress, tension that's going on in your spine. Maybe the muscles along the sides of your spine, down to the low back. And just sort of lift and wash those things away. Maybe that allows you to see if you can maybe stretch a little further. Maybe move your legs. Maybe let the head come a little bit lower. Releasing the muscles around your jawline, the teeth, the gums, the lips. And learning to step into and breathe through acceptance. And knowing that you have the power right now to control that. You can feel the tight spots along your body, and you can choose to let go. We are unable to control the external world. Just like the summers that get upset because there's no rainbows, or we're wondering, are they sad because there's no rain, there's no rainbows. Instead of holding on to this resistance, holding on to this stress and tension that sometimes, maybe unknowingly, we're allowing to build up in our bodies. Flip the script and know, you know what, I can control this with my breath, with mindset of softness and relaxation and release. And just simply use this last minute and a half here to breathe, just like in your meditation. Now that the imagination imaginary water has lifted stress and tension away, go back to the breath. Now that those things are gone, let there be a lightness to your breath, almost a sweetness like honey, something that brings a smile to your face, whether it's something sweet, but let that feeling come in. Take 2 more breaths. And on the inhale, slowly rise. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to move into half frog. I like half frog because there's a lot of tension that can be felt in the low back and the hips. Sometimes we don't really realize it until we go to bend over, pick something up, or to twist, to reach for something, get up from the couch. We're like, oh, why is that tight? So half a frog will sometimes allow for a low back decompression by relaxing and releasing the hips and just kind of letting that low back kind of soften into that space when you've released to the hips. So that's the intention for getting into half frog. If someone were standing over you, you would look like you were forming, your body was forming the number 4 or the letter H. Just like in a supine twist, how you put your shin bone from knee to ankle on your props. You're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to start with the right leg, and you're going to be face down. You're going to be prone rather than supine like we were in the twist. We were on the spine. You're going to move the left side of your body as far to the left as possible so you can get as much of your body flush to the floor. And you can use your hands as a pillow under your chin or use a small pillow. Feel that opening in the inner thigh. If you don't feel anything, maybe put a blanket or something else to lift your leg higher. If whatever you've got here, you feel this stretch immensely, over 80%, you're like at 90% of this stretch, maybe remove the prop and just bring your leg straight to the floor. Or use something that's not as thick, like maybe a block or a book or 2. And just as you did in your, just as you did in the caterpillar, the forward fold, take your attention, your awareness, your focus to your low back. Okay? Now go a little bit lower and to the sides of that area towards your hips. And imagine that imaginary water is now coming down softly, gently around this area, on the hips, in between the hips, around that low back, your lumbar spine, the very lowest part of your spine, your sacral spine, which is an even lower part. A lot of times we don't really talk about that part too much. We think about the top 3 parts of the spine, cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine, but there's actually 4 parts to your spine. But this is an anatomy lesson. lesson. So let's just get back to relaxing the muscles around this area. Going back to that imagery also, maybe if the water is not working for you, of that feather gently flowing through the wind, a gentle breeze. Each breath to be sweet and softly flowing. You have less than 1 minute on this side. After your next exhale, slowly just roll onto your belly. Move your prop to the other side. Put that shin of the opposite leg on your proper props. Slow breath in and slow breath out. side, do the same thing, allowing the mind and the body to relax. Soften, especially those hips. I can control what goes on in my mind. I can be free from the burdens that weigh me down. Slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. We have one more minute on this side. 2 more breaths. When you're ready, you can move into Shavasana, which is corpse pose, lying on your spine, maybe putting your bolster or blocks under your knees. You can always take legs up the wall, bringing your bottom all the way to the wall, leaning onto your coming back onto your spine, and then swinging your legs up the wall, if that sounds like it would be good. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement very slowly to the arms, the legs, maybe the head. Time when you're coming up. We'll close our practice today with a single Om. It is spelled O-M, but it is said, it sounds like a U-M, Aum. It's a sound to acknowledge the divine source, expressing gratitude for our existence, our creation. acknowledging that there is a divine around us all the time. So we'll start with the palms face up along the sides of the waist. Inhale your hands together above your head. Exhale them down to your heart. Preparing for Om, take a full breath in. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. This is my honor and my privilege. Please take your hands to your lips. I ask that you speak words of kindness and compassion, not just to others, but to and about yourself. Take your hands to your eyes. I ask that you see the beauty and love in others, but also that which lies within you first. Then take your hands to your third eye center. Go and be the best you that you can be, because there is only one you. Deep breath in. Exhale as we bow forward to seal our practice and honor each other. Blessings and namaste.